Hello everyone. So in this video, we'll have a very important discussion on corporate social responsibility in India. So let us have a historical background with respect to the CSR as a strategic philanthropy. So from the beginning of industrialization, the transition we faced from merchant charity to the industrial philanthropy in India, and many India's leading businessmen, they also came under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi ji and his theory of trusteeship of wealth. And after independence, two consecutive seminars were held with respect to the social responsibility. And in 1979, another landmark event was happened. So Business House, they undertook the social audit, and as per CSR 2002 survey, more and more companies in India are keen to project themselves as good corporate citizens. So based on this brief historical background, so we'll move to the travel path with respect to the legislating of social responsibilities. So in order to give a legal status to the social responsibility activities, so corporate social responsibility voluntary guidelines came in 2009, and Department of Public Enterprise guidelines they given for the PSUs, and in 2011 we had the National Voluntary Guidelines NVG on social, environmental and economic responsibilities of business. And later the very important landmark happened, the Companies Act of 2013. So through the enactment of the Companies Act of 2013 by the Ministry of the Corporate Affairs, Government of India, was one of the world's largest experiment of introducing the CSR as a mandatory provision by imposing the statutory obligation on companies to take up the CSR projects towards the social welfare activities. So this has made India the only country which has regulated and mandated CSR for some select categories of companies registered under the act. ಸೊ ಈ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ನ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಏನಾಯ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಡೀ ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ವಿಶ್ವದಲ್ಲೇ ಭಾರತವು ಪ್ರಪ್ರಥಮ ಬಾರಿಗೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಒಂದು ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿಯನ್ನು ಕಾನೂನಾತ್ಮಕವಾಗಿ ತರುವುದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸಫಲವಾಯಿತು. So this CSR initiatives will push the nation towards achievement of sustainable development goals as per the UNO and public-private partnership in transforming India. So with respect to the Companies Act, so much awaited Companies Bill 2013 approved in Lok Sabha on 18 December 2012, later approved by Rajya Sabha on 8 August 2013, and bill was presented before President for his assent and approval. So the bill has nearly 29 chapters, 470 clauses against 658 sections and 7 schedules. So finally, the Companies Act was notified in the official Gazette of India on 30th August 2013, replacing a near 60-year-old Companies Act of 1956. So very important event or landmark event happened in our corporate world. So Act making regulations more contemporary has 29 chapters, 470 clauses and 7 schedules. So Ministry of the Corporate Affairs has notified the company's corporate social responsibility policy rules 2017-2014, which came into force on first day of April 2014. So here, first time in India, the corporate social responsibility is given a regulatory status on 1st April 2014. So the CSR activities are highlighted in Companies Act under section 135 schedule 7. Now here, as per this particular regulation, so which are the companies are eligible? So 135 section 135 applicability is very important here. So every company, including its holding or a subsidiary, falling under any category or any criteria of this, even though it is a public, private or foreign company operating in India, having a net worth of 500 crores or more, or having a turnover of 1000 crores or more above, or having a net profit of 500 crores or above in any financial year. ಸೊ ಈ ಮೂರು ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಅವರು ಫುಲ್ಫಿಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 135 ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಆಕ್ಟ್. So if any company are coming under this particular act, so here they mention the amount of CSR expenditure. So at least 2% of the average net profit of the preceding 3 financial year need to be considered, and net profit again calculated as per section 198 of Companies Act 2013, and it shall not include the net profit of an overseas branch or branches, whether operated as separate company or otherwise. Now here one example we will take to consider the amount of CSR expenditure of Tata Consultancy Service. So if you go through any company's website, definitely you will get their net profit. So you consider the last 3 financial year net profit. For example, from March 2018, 19, 20, the year end profit you need to consider. So the last 3 financial year profit, net profit, if you take of TCS, it will be 33,260 crores, 30,065 crores and 25,241 crores. So now for the next year CSR budget, when they are making for 2021, so 2% of the average profit of last 3 years. So here average profit will come 29,522 crores. The 2% is nearly 590 crores, 590.44 crores. So this is the CSR budget for 2021. So to make the CSR activities systematically, the Act gives some provisions. So there should be a CSR committee, in that at least 3 directors should be there, and one of whom should be an independent director. And in a company where appointment of an independent director is not a mandatory case, so CSR committee of a private company having only 2 directors can have only 2 members here, and CSR committee would be a committee of the board also. Now what is the role of the CSR committee here? So they need to recommend the CSR policy, recommend the amount of expenditure, and finally they need to monitor the CSR policy. So finally they become an institute for transparent monitoring mechanism, responsibility statement to be submitted along with the annual report, and chairman of the CSR committee to sign the annual report. Now following activities are not considered. First we will see in CSR activities in section 135. when you make any contribution to political parties, or you will open school for your employees' children, or whenever you give any bonus or incentives or any benefits to workers, or providing technical skills or additional knowledge to workers, and running welfare any services for the employees. And recently in 2021 January, amendment was made to the CSR policy. In that also, the activities are not considered. They added some points. So CSR policy contents. So this is very important here. Shall indicate the activities to be undertaken by the company specified in Schedule 7. So a company cannot take any activities according to their wish. So the various activities are given here as per Schedule 7. So these are the activities are mentioned here. First one, eradicating hunger, poverty, malnutrition, promoting the preventive health care, sanitation, including contribution to Swachh Bharat Kosh set up by the central government for the promotion of sanitation and making available safe drinking water. Next, promotion of the education, including special education and employment, enhancing the vocation skills, especially among children, women, elderly, and differently abled, and livelihood enhancement projects. Next, promoting the gender equity, empowering women, setting up homes and hostels for women and orphans, setting up old age homes, daycare centers, and such other facilities for senior citizens, and measures for reducing the inequalities faced by the socially and economically backward groups. Next, ensuring environmental sustainability, ecological balance, protection of flora and fauna, animal welfare, agroforestry, conservation of the natural resources, maintaining quality of soil, air, and water, and including contribution to Clean Ganga project set up by central government, as well as the protection of the national heritage, art and culture, including restoration of buildings and sites of historical importance and works of art, setting up public libraries, promotion and development of traditional arts and handicrafts, and measures for the benefit of armed forces, veterans, war widows and their dependents, training to promote rural sports, nationally recognized sports, Paralympic and sports and Olympic sports. And finally, the contribution to the Prime Minister's National Relief Fund, Care Fund, any other fund set up by the central government for socio-economic development and relief and welfare of the scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, and other backward classes, minorities, and women, as well as contribution or funds provided to technologically incubators located within the academic institutions which are approved by the central government, any rural development projects, slum area development. So all these are the activities are included in Schedule 7. So if company contribute to these activities, so this can be considered as the CSR activities. Now recently the CSR policy was amended. So company CSR policy amendment rules were published through official gazette with effect from its implemented January 22nd, 2021. So the main highlight of this particular amendment is here there is inclusion of the CSR activities. So any company engaged in research and development activity of new vaccine, drugs and medical devices along to their normal courses of business may undertake any research and development activity of new vaccine, drugs, medical devices related to the COVID-19 for financial years 2021 21, 22, 22, 23, subject to the conditions that such research and development activities shall be carried out in collaboration with any of the institute or organization mentioned in item 9 of Schedule 7 of the Act, and details of such activity shall be disclosed separately in the annual report on CSR, including the board's reports. So then only we can consider as a CSR activity. And earlier, when there is an unspent amount, for example, if 100 crores should be spent as CSR fund, CSR activity, it's equivalent of your 2% of net profit. Out of 100 crores, only 50 crores are spent in that financial year. So earlier, you need to give a reason for unspent amount, and you can mention in your annual report. And there was some kind of penalty was also there for organization and for the managers. Now in the amendment, there is a separate treatment for unspent amount or unspent fund. Now, if there are unspent funds at the end of the financial year, and very important, there are no ongoing projects. Ongoing project means sometimes some CSR project will take multiple years to complete. So the funds, if there is no ongoing project, so funds should be transferred to Schedule 7 fund, within 6 months from the end of the relevant financial year. So very clearly they mentioned, if there is any unspent fund of that particular financial year, and if there are no ongoing project, so within 6 months they need to transfer to Schedule 6 fund, Schedule 7 fund. So Schedule 7 fund means here automatically that money or that amount will be transferred to Prime Minister National Relief Fund or Prime Minister Citizens Assistance or Relief in Emergency Situation Fund. It's called as the PM CARES Fund, or any other fund set up by central government for socio-economic development and relief welfare of scheduled castes, tribes and other backward classes, minorities and women, as well as contribution to the Clean Ganga fund set up by the central government or contribution to Swachh Bharat Kosh. On the other hand, if there is an unspent fund and if there are any ongoing CSR projects, so the funds should be transferred to one unspent CSR account. So very important here, company need to open one unspent CSR account within 30 days from the end of financial year, if there is any ongoing CSR projects. So once that amount transferred to that unspent CSR account, within 3 financial years, the ongoing CSR project should be completed. If that fund is not used within 3 financial year, then directly it is transferred to Schedule 7 fund as per the clause. And certification of CSR fund utilization is required. So certified by the CFO or any financial head of your company. And website disclosure also very important as per the amendment. So the board of directors of the company shall mandatorily disclose the composition of the CSR committee, the CSR policy and project approved by the board on their website for the public access. So this is some information from the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, csr.gov.in. So during the financial year 2019-20, I think total number of companies registered for or they are eligible for the CSR activity as per the Act 13,108, and total amount spent here on CSR activities 21,231 crores, and 36 states and union territories are covered here, and total number of CSR projects 30,987, and 29 development sectors entered by the companies. And this is the CSR spend geographical distribution. We can see here, and CSR spent, there is a sector, development sector, rural development, Swachh Bharat, or Prime Minister National Relief Fund, health and sanitation, and the companies here. So Reliance Industry again getting the first position, 9,908.71 crores they are spending. TCS is there, ONGC is there. So very important information about the Tata Group. So they're having a unique CSR initiatives. So from their inception, so they're giving the charity work towards the society, starting from J&T Tata Endowment Scheme till now. So highest amount of contribution making towards societies by Tata Group of Business. And especially when Kargil war was happened. So definitely all the corporates, they made contribution to the Prime Minister Relief Fund, or they made their contribution to the armed forces. But Tata came with a different scheme, Calamity Rehabilitation Fund. Through that, directly they benefited the armed forces, and not only the Kargil war. In case of Taj attack, Oberoi Hotel attack was happened by the terrorists, and immediately I think Ratan Tata made the claim that whoever died or whoever undergoing any treatment, so their full payment is made by Tata. And whenever in our country any kind of natural calamity or man-made calamity is happening, and through this calamity rehabilitation fund, so Tata Group of Business, they are making huge amount of contribution to the society. And this is the top CSR funding companies we can uh, make as per the latest survey. And some of the CSR activities of some companies, ITC, they have this program called E-Chowpal to connect the rural farmers. And second one, Mahindra and Mahindra runs a program such as Nahi Kali, focusing on the education of the girls. Tata Power has made its topmost priority empowering the women through its self-help groups in Kutch region of Gujarat. And next, Infosys, one of the early adopters of CSR here. They're making contribution to the education, sports, and all relief funds. Reliance again, one of the giant, making huge contribution to the CSR in various sectors. Thank you.